If that SUV is still there, I'm milking my cows through the sunroof. I muttered, squinting in the dawn light, barefoot in the damp grass, coffee mug in one hand, feed bucket in the other. I didn't think I'd have to follow through until I rounded the barn and saw it. A sleek silver Lexus RX, vanity plate, Lucinda 1. Parked smack across both barn doors like it was posing for a magazine, not blocking a 140-year-old dairy barn reeking of hay, manure, and grit. My 40 cows bellowed inside, hooves stomping, udders aching, their agitation mirroring mine. I stood frozen, staring for a full minute, wondering if this was a cruel prank. Yesterday, it was a snarky HOA letter taped to my tractor, complaining about my unsightly fence dragging down property values. The day before, a glossy flyer titled, "Embracing Modern Rural Charm," left on my porch. I'd rolled my eyes then. Now, with Lucinda Harper's SUV choking my morning routine, this wasn't just petty, it was war, and I was ready to fight back with everything my farm could throw. Lucinda, the self-anointed queen of the Willow Creek HOA, had swept into her gaudy mansion 6 months ago, all glass walls and faux Mediterranean columns, built on what used to be open pasture next to my land. My farm, a stubborn holdout from the ranchlands that predated her subdivision, didn't match her vision of polished suburbia. I wasn't the quaint pastoral backdrop she wanted for her HOA newsletters. I stomped to her SUV, hoping she was inside. No luck, locked tight. A yoga mat on the dash, a tepid latte sweating in the cup holder. The audacity. I circled it, confirming no tractor could pass without risking damage to her car or my cows, who were growing frantic, lowing a chorus of distress. Every minute trapped in that barn upped the stakes, not just their udders, but their stress, my livelihood. I dialed Lucinda. Straight to voicemail, her syrupy greeting grating my nerves. Next, I called the tow company. "Sorry, Nate," said Greg, the owner. "Can't tow from HOA gravel without a hazard or police report. It's shared access." I snapped. "She's blocking my barn. My cows are about to riot." He sympathized but wouldn't budge. Then Bessie, my lead cow, let out a guttural, judgmental moo, signaling an imminent release. I met her eyes through the barn window, hands raised. "All right, Bessie, we're moving the barricade." The rear barn doors, rarely used, opened to a muddy slope. Risky, but I was out of options. I yanked on boots, fired up the tractor, and rigged heavy chains to the SUV. Its polished frame gleamed arrogantly. No one blocks barn doors by mistake. I towed it slowly, tires grinding through gravel, then sinking into thick, vengeful mud. In 8 minutes, I parked it in the cow pen, unhitched, and swung open the rear doors. 40 cows charged out, some galloping, others waddling gall, eyeing the shiny intruder. Bessie snorted at the windshield, fogging it. Lula nudged the antenna. Mabel kicked mud onto the hood. Rosie, bless her, clambered onto the rear bumper like it was a hay bale. From the barn loft, I watched the SUV become a canvas of slobber, hoof prints, and a steaming gift from nature. I roared with laughter, then froze at a banshee-like scream from the driveway. Lucinda stood, clutching her designer purse, her white sneakers sinking into muck, staring at her defiled Lexus swarmed by my herd. Her blowout frizzed in the humidity. For 10 seconds, she was speechless. Then she stomped forward, jabbing a finger. "This is vandalism. Property destruction. I'll sue." I raised my mug. "Park in a visitor spot next time." The cows mooed in unison as her jaw dropped. I knew this was the opening shot in a war that would shake Willow Creek to its core. Lucinda didn't slink away in shame. She stood, dialing frantically, her voice shrill with buzzwords. Felony. Health violation. Litigation. Bessie leaned on the SUV's hood, groaning contentedly. I whistled the cows to the pasture, prying Rosie off the mirror like a kid from a candy store. I towed the SUV out, now caked in mud, scratches scarring its sides, one mirror dangling. I parked it outside the gate, but Lucinda was far from done. Within an hour, 4 golf carts rolled up, HOA logos gleaming like badges. Lucinda led, flanked by Marjorie, who wore her HOA badge like a sheriff's star, and Dennis, a silent nodder avoiding conflict. They halted by my porch, Lucinda dismounting with theatrical fury. "This man," she declared, "has vandalized my vehicle, endangered our community, and unleashed feral livestock on shared property. I sipped my coffee. Feral? They're cows, not wolves. Marjorie read from a script. Per Section 15D, animal containment must prevent intrusion onto communal paths. I pointed. Your car was 24 inches inside my line. My barn, my land. Lucinda stepped closer. That's shared gravel. I tapped a boundary marker. My deed says otherwise. Want the tow video for your lawyer? Marjorie and Dennis exchanged glances. Lucinda hissed orders, and they retreated, but her eyes burned with resolve. The next day, a neon yellow violation notice appeared on my fence. Non-compliant barn roof color. My roof was classic red, always had been. Over a week, 20 more arrived. Excessive rooster noise before 7 a.m., unapproved signage, my welcome plaque, illegal coop structure. Pure spite, weaponizing her HOA rulebook against a non-member. I started a file, Lucinda's Vendetta, with photos, videos, and timestamps, adding a trail cam by the driveway. On day 6, Lucinda escalated, hiring a rent-a-cop, a mid-20s kid in an ill-fitting uniform. He stood at my gate, declaring it a restricted access point to block unauthorized farm traffic. I recorded. You're on private property, obstructing my feed truck with no badge or authority. Leave, or I call the sheriff. He scurried off, muttering about orders. Lucinda paced her porch, phone to ear, fuming. I called my nephew, Caleb, a county AG inspector, for a surprise farm check. He arrived with a film crew shooting a rural segment, knowing Lucinda would watch. Caleb's report was spit less no violations, even praising my cow enrichment. He announced loudly, "This farm's a gold standard, better than some zoos." Lucinda's face twisted like a thundercloud. That sparked my plan, not just defense, but a bold counterstrike. Digging through old family records, I found a 1961 deed map showing a utility easement under Lucinda's driveway, never relinquished. My friend Ellen, a retired surveyor, confirmed it. Her fountain, landscaping, and driveway encroached 8 feet onto my land. She's trespassing, Ellen said. I hired a title lawyer, drafted a cease and desist, and notified the HOA of her violation, demanding removal of her structures. Lucinda went silent for 4 days, no patrols, no notices. Then she rallied, plastering flyers. Urgent. Farmer threatens community values. She held a lawn meeting, waving a whiteboard titled, "Restore Our Streets." Only 15 showed, half for the lemonade. When Rachel, the HOA vice president, asked about her driveway permit, Lucinda faltered, muttering about legacy exemptions. Doubt spread. An anonymous envelope arrived. HOA chat screenshots where Lucinda admitted parking to civilize me, called my barn a shanty, and floated condemning it. I shared them door to door, letting her words expose her. The HOA demolished her fountain for encroachment, Lucinda shrieking as jackhammers roared. Her notices stopped. She hid her SUV in her garage. I planned a pasture party hayrides, milking demos, egg raffles, permits secured, open to all, even Lucinda. Flyers blanketed the neighborhood, pinned next to her lawn ornament guidelines. Families flocked, kids petting calves, retirees sipping cider. Lucinda arrived in a beige blazer, waving a binder of codes. I showed my permits, sheriff approved. Teens in hot dog costumes, and Lucinda can't movie me shirts giggled. A news crew filmed nearby. Lucinda tried rallying Rachel, but she walked away. She was done. Tripping over my rooster, Clarence, Lucinda fell into a manure cart, shrieking as laughter erupted. The video, HOA Lucinda's Barnyard Blunder, went viral, hitting 200,000 views. A petition for her removal, citing harassment and misconduct, gathered 65 signatures. At the HOA meeting, Rachel accepted it, scheduling a vote. Lucinda's defense collapsed. 90% voted her out. Her house listed, unsold, buyers wary of the dispute. A moving truck hauled her away, her fountain's rubble in tow. The HOA, led by Rachel, banned petty fines and opened forums. I built a garden on the easement, a red fence with a sign, "Private Farm Park, Get Milked." The pasture party became annual, my barn a hub for local kids. Lucinda's war united US, proving a farmer's stand, with cows and cunning, could topple a tyrant's throne.